Hello, hello. All right, there we go. Looks like we've got everything started. Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. All right. Good morning, hello. All right. Happy Tuesday. It's a little bit chilly out this morning here in Sherwood Park. It's supposed to get a little bit nicer today. We also might get a storm later today, but for now it's a little bit like I think it's like 15 or 16 degrees. So like it's not chilly, but it's just because it's kind of like overcast and it's a little humid. So there's a little bit of that like fall chilly tingle in the air, which I mean, I love that time of year. So I'm definitely not complaining. I'm sure by the time I leave here, it's probably already going to be like sunny and like over 20 degrees again. But for now, I'll kind of take my like tiny glimpse at fall for sure. No bike ride today at your friend's empty house doing laundry because your washer broke. Oh no, that's such a pain. And just based off of how many things you post in the Insiders group, Abby, I'm sure that your laundry amounts are no small amount considering just how much alone comes from us, which is an impressive and very envy-worthy collection, if I do say so myself. But that sucks that your washer broke. I definitely don't envy you for that. Good morning, Cheryl. Hello. All right, I think that's, I've been waiting for about 2 minutes. I dropped in at 11:01, so I think we are ready to get started. So good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle. I am the 3X model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I typically wear a 3X top and bottom. I am 6'1" for height reference, so I am very tall, so I do try to talk about length where it applies. And for numerical, I'm typically like a 20, sometimes a 22 in other brands. I wear a 44C bra, so I am a little bit smaller chested for someone who is a size 3X. And yeah, with that, let me get started. Oh, I guess I'm an 18 to 20W in Judy Blues. I was like, I feel like I'm missing one of the things I usually say, and that's what it is. All right, so let's start off with this really cute cardigan that I am wearing. This is the Right as Rain cardigan in citrus and magenta. This one's gonna be retailing for $107, and this one is available in 2 different size options. So it's available in small, medium, and medium large, but it is very, very generous and oversized. As you can see, I'm wearing the medium large, and I still have like tons of super cute, baggy extra room in this one, despite me basically sizing down like 2 or 3 sizes. This one is super, super generous in the size. So Carrie and Christine both wear the small medium, and then Melissa and I both wear the medium large. And you can see when this one goes live, this is the daily drop today, of course. So when you see the website photos, it's Christine, Melissa, and myself are all pictured in this one, and you can see that the small medium is super oversized on Christine, and then the medium large is honestly like really oversized on Melissa. I feel like it's still a little oversized on me, but it's like the most like typical looking, I would say, on me in the medium large, but the medium large is definitely like very, very generous on Melissa as well. So it is very, very oversized. Hello, Carolyn. Hello. I know, isn't it pretty, Abby? So this one is 100% acrylic, which makes sense because it is like a knitted style cardigan. We can see that it's like a very, very chunky acrylic yarn that is used, and it is a fairly like wide knit, like there's a lot of open knit here. So it's still going to be very, very warm just because of how thick and like fuzzy the acrylic yarn is, but because there is a little bit of that like porousness, it's not going to be as hot. There'll be a little bit of breathability and ventilation, which is sometimes nice in a big cardigan like this. It goes super well with this top because we've got this really cute like aqua stripe that goes through here, and then we can see we've got this like nice kind of beige cream color. We have this, I call it like orange, like creamsicle. This is like that orange creamsicle kind of color where it's like a creamy orange, if that makes sense. And then this really nice, like it's almost like sherbet ice cream colors. We've got like the creamsicle. This would be like vanilla, I guess, and then like strawberry or raspberry sorbet or sherbet. And then if I turn around, we can see that those stripes go all the way through. The sleeves kind of bill out a little bit, and then they do have these knit cuffs. There's not a ton of stretch in the knit cuffs, but they are quite generous, so I still find that I can pull them up my arms pretty easily, and then they stay in place as well. As we know, being tall, my habit is to just like pull the sleeves up on everything. And then lengthwise, even on me being 6'1" and sizing down by like 2 sizes, this is still going like well past my butt, well past my hips. So again, very generous, very oversized for this cardigan, so you can definitely safely size down. I would say if you're like a size large and under, you would probably want to go with the small medium, and then an extra large to plus size, you'd probably go with the medium large because of how generous this one is. Okay, so again, this one is the Right as Rain cardigan in citrus and magenta. $107 for this bad boy. Definitely super cute, early fall vibes. 2 sizes for this one, small, medium, and medium large. Carrie and Christine were in the small medium, and then Melissa and I are in the medium large. All right, I'm gonna go hang this guy back up, and then we can talk about the tank top and the jeans. It'll probably be a little bit of a quicker live. I think I mentioned this last week too, where we're in that transition period where we're like launched most of the summer stuff and we're waiting for fall stuff to come in. So this one will be a little bit quicker, but I'll still try to, you know, entertain you as best I can with what I have. Right, Susan? It's such a fun outfit. It just, everything pairs so perfectly, doesn't it? Okay, so this is the Millie Lace Detail Cami in Aqua. This one is from POL, because of course it is. We are obsessed with POL here lately, and I'm sure a lot of you saw it in the Facebook Insiders group that Carrie and Christine were at POL when they were at Magic, and they were doing some polls about like, do we like this style, do we like this style? I love that they actually asked. I mean, it's great for them because they know if they bring something in and we all said nay, okay, maybe we don't, because that might not sell, but it's a great way to kind of like gauge the interest and see what kind of trends people are actually buying into and what trends people are like, maybe not for me. So I love that they do that. It's super fun. Anyways, this is the Millie Lace Detail Cami in Aqua. This one's going to be retailing for $49, and of course, being POL, it comes in small, medium, and large, but with POL sizing, it is very generous, so I am in the size large. It's definitely more of like a baby cami on me as opposed to like a full flowy cami, but again, that's why we love pairing these pieces on different bodies to show that even though the sticker might say something, I can still wear it, and even if it's not like the intended fit, it still is totally a vibe for me. So for this one, Christine is wearing the small, Carrie also wears the small, and then Melissa and I both take the large for this one, which is pretty typical for POL. I think there are times when Melissa can even wear mediums in POLs, but for this one she's wearing the large. And again, myself, Melissa, and Christine are all pictured on the website photos, so you can see all the different bodies, and this one looks absolutely stunning on everyone. It is a little bit shorter on me, but again, I have a, being 6'1", I have a very long torso. I'm pretty proportionally tall. I mention this a lot of the time, but I'm not all torso or all leg. I'm just like fairly tall everywhere, which is both a blessing and a curse sometimes. But yeah, so here we have the cami. It does have adjustable straps, which is nice. I would probably lengthen them just a tad for myself. I just didn't have time to do that before the live, but they do have the adjustable like bra strap style thing. So for myself, just because I do have a longer torso, and it is like fairly high neck on me, I would probably lengthen the strap quite a bit just to give me a little bit more length in the front. So I love that you have the option to kind of adjust how much you want to show in the front, how much length you want. It's always super helpful. We have this really cute lace kind of peekaboo. I love this kind of stuff. If you're like me and you work a job where there's, you know, like technically a dress code, but it's a little bit more chill, but like you can have fun and play with stuff like this, but you still want to be very demure, very mindful. I'm not sure if everyone's aware of that trend, but you know, I want to have just a little chi-chi showing, not my cho-cho. This is really cute because you can show a little bit of skin, but it's also still covered because of the lace, which is very cute. And then if we rotate, we can see that there is the little like lace window in the back as well. I'm obsessed with the back lace windows, especially like I'm wearing an ugly bra today. I mean, you guys are used to seeing me wearing my like ugly new bra because it doesn't show under like white clothes and stuff. That's, I swear, not all of my, this isn't the only bra I own. This is just the one I always wear here. But I love that you can again show like a little peeky if you you have like a really cute like back tattoo or something, I think having it peek through a little bit of lace is like the most gorgeous look ever. And then it is this really nice soft, it is a poly spandex blend. It's got kind of like a subtle tie-dye effect to it. Like it's kind of like it's been like scrunched up and like sprayed with, remember when everyone used to put like lemon juice in their hair to get like streaks in the sun, and you could do that to your clothes to get like a subtle tie-dye? It's got that vibe to it, which I really like, because it's a way to give it texture without actually having like wrinkly fabric, which is really nice because it just gives it a little bit more like dimension. And then it's really flowy and swooshy. And then it has just a very, very like finely finished hem, so it almost gives like lettuce hem effect, but it's not actually lettuce hem, if that makes sense. So again, this one is the Millie Lace Detail Cami in Aqua from POL. This one's gonna be retailing for $49. Sizes small, medium, and large. Carrie and Christine both take the small, and then Melissa and I both took the large for this one. So it is also very, you can probably size down a size or two. I think it looks absolutely incredible on Melissa. I think that it just like, the size large is like made for her. It's incredible. Okay, and then let us go with these jeans that I am wearing. So I will kind of like tuck the top in here a little bit. That is a nice thing about this top being a bit more cropped on me, is that I don't have very far to go to tuck it in, which is convenient. There we go. Okay. So these are the Thomas, aka the Judy Blue High Rise Mid-Wash Long Wide Legs. So these are described as long, as I've mentioned many times. I need like an extra long. A lot of the times I typically wear, like if I were to get like a true like jean to the floor, I'm like a 34 to 35 inch inseam. I don't have the inseam measurements for this one. I'm just double checking. I don't think I do. Nope. Just double checking it, because it looks a little bit different on our end. So I know we always have like the size chart with the measurements and stuff available when it goes live, but it does look a little bit different for me here. But anyways, these are going to be retailing for $94. I'm going to guess these are probably like the 33 inch inseam, because like they're very close. Like if I'm standing back here, the angle might be a little bit off, but they're like maybe an inch and a half off, like touching the ground for me with flat bare feet. So they're very close to being for like a lot of tall folks who are like a 32, 33 inch inseam. These are going to be great for you, but for me who needs like a 34 to 35, they're close. They're not quite there for length. So these ones are going to be retailing for $94, and they are available in sizes 0 through 24W. I'm wearing my 18W in these ones, and these ones were pretty close in between. I tried both the 20 and the 18. The 18 are maybe a little tiny bit snug in the waist. We can see that they're kind of like, I mean the top isn't helping, but they're giving me a little bit of a like roll at the top here. But when I tried on the 20, the waist was better, but I found that they were just a little bit too loose in the hip and in the thigh area. And knowing that Judy Blue denim does tend to stretch out and relax a little bit as you wear them, I opted for the 18, knowing that the waistband would probably loosen up a little bit after wearing them for an hour or two, and the rest of the jean fits so much better in the 18 that I decided to stick with that size as opposed to the 20. I know, Kate, I totally agree. I mean, there used to be, like, being tall and plus size is really a curse, because you can find plus size clothing and you can find tall clothing. You can't even find tall clothing that easily. Like, there used to be Tall Girl in West Edmonton Mall, and I don't think that's even there anymore. But like finding tall plus, and then also finding tall plus that wasn't like $300 for a pair of jeans was always, so I'd always just wore like skinny jeans that were a little too short, and then I just like roll up the rim because that was the way to make it work. But yeah, totally agree. But anyways, yes, so I am wearing my 18W in these ones, but it's close. I would say it really depends on your waist. The waist is my limiting measurement, and it was like I said, it was really close. I did prefer the fit of the waist, specifically in the 20, but I found that I had a little bit too much room everywhere else in the jeans, so I opted to size down and then just kind of like suck up a little bit of a tighter waist. So for these ones, everyone took their kind of true size. So Christine took the 3, Carrie's in the 9, Melissa took her usual 14, and then it says here that I took my 20, but we'll have that updated by the time it goes live because I did actually opt for the 18 in these guys. I'll do a little spinneroo so you can see these are like very like Gap jean commercial kind of jeans in my opinion, where like you just wear a pair of super like clean cut classic jeans and a white t-shirt and like that's the fit. That is these jeans to me because they are this like wide leg. They're a really good like classic like medium dark kind of denim wash. The hardware is kind of like a coppery color as opposed to like brassy color, which is I think a nice little detail. And yeah, they're just like one of those like tried and true absolute classic jeans, if that makes sense. So once again, these are the Judy Blue Thomas, aka the high-rise mid-wash long wide legs. These ones are going to be retailing for $94 and they are available in sizes 0 to 24W. Most of us took our true to size. I opted for my 18 as opposed to my 20, but it was very borderline. I honestly could have taken either. I just slightly preferred the fit of the 18 everywhere except for the waist where it's maybe a little bit more snug, but I preferred that over having too much in the hip and thigh area. All right, I have one more piece as part of the Tuesday launch, so I'll go put that t-shirt on and be right back. I'm obsessed with this t-shirt that's launching today. It gives me like really cute like sporty girl vibes. I paired it with some joggers in a little styling video for the belt bags last week and I was absolutely obsessed with how it looked with joggers. I launched it with the the joggers that launched last week. I'm so bad at remembering like style names and stuff like that. But super cute. I think I like tied it up as I usually do, but I will leave it down just to kind of show off because it is a really nice super long t-shirt. So this is the Pack-A-Picnic short sleeve top in charcoal. This one is retailing for $46 and is available in sizes small through 3X. I'm wearing my typical 3X in this one, and everyone also took their typical size. Christine in the small, Carrie is in the medium, Melissa took the 1X in this one, and then of course I am in the 3X. The material on this one is a poly spandex blend, and from a distance you can see that it's got this really fun like charcoal heathering where it's this kind of like, it looks like a gray base, but when I get closer, like it's like a really light like heathered gray base, and then it's got this like black like flecking or like heathering throughout it, and it's also ribbed, so it's got like the black is like the top of the ridges and then the valleys is where we have that really light heathered charcoal, and then there's also the additional like black heathering across. So there's just a lot of like different details that make this pattern look really cool. Like it almost looks like, this is a weird way to describe it. It looks like Velcro. Like it kind of like looks like you could take your nails and go like shoop, shoop, shoop across it and it's gonna like make a noise, or it looks like kind of like corrugated. Like it's just super interesting looking. And then we have kind of like the inverse of it on the sleeves. So you can still see the same kind of color tones, but it's not quite as dramatic. And if we flip it inside out, I can confirm that yes, that is what the back side of it looks like, because that's what it looks like on the inside of the sleeve, and then it looks the same on the outside, so that's really, really cute. Oh my god, it totally does. It's like, yeah, like TV white noise, like the TV static. That is a great way to describe it, Abby. And like kind of a vibe, especially with like retro 90s and stuff being like so in style right now. That's kind of like a vibe. So we can see that it's got these really nice like wide t-shirt sleeves. They're almost kind of like a relaxed like dolman sleeve, but not quite. And then we have that little contrast. I think that's part of why it gives me such sporty vibes, is because it's got almost like the baseball tee kind of vibe. And we can see it's super, super long, which is nice too. Like it's almost covering my whole butt, which means on most people it would probably cover the tush. It looks super cute with leggings. I think I tried it on with skinny jeans and sneakers and it just looked super, super cute too. I'm definitely a fan of this top. I'm probably grabbing this one for myself, most likely. So again, this is the Pack-A-Picnic short sleeve top in charcoal. This one's going to be retailing for $46 sizes small to 3X, and it's a 1X large as opposed to an extra large. I can't believe I said that. And everyone took their typical size for this guy. All right, so that is everything for the Tuesday daily drop. I don't think we have anything tonight. We do not. So let me pop over to Wednesday. I don't think there's anything that's like plus, like technically coming in plus, but I have a couple of sweaters to try. I have the Shine Bright sweater in ivory, so like the white one with the pink stars, and then I also have the Outer Space cardigan, which I really wanted to try, just so I should, just to see if they work for me. I haven't tried them on yet, so I'll come out and then we can, I guess, decide together if we think they work. Thank you, Abby. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'll start with the Outer Space cardigan because I'll just throw it over the top that I'm wearing right now. This one's so cute. Even if it wasn't on my rack, I was going to grab this one to try it on because when I saw Carrie wearing it in the live yesterday, I was like, I need to know about that because I'm obsessed. Okay. Oh yeah, this is definitely coming home with me. Okay, so this is the Outer Space cardigan in black. This one's available in 2 sizes. It is a small, medium, and then a medium large. For this one, Carrie and Christine both took the small, medium, and then Melissa and myself both wear the medium large. So this one is a polyester and then acrylic blend. So some of it is that like polyester and then there is acrylic knit mixed in. It's super soft. It feels kind of like a blanket, if that makes sense. Like those like really nice, like not the like super soft like Sherpa-y ones, but those like knit ones that don't feel scratchy, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm not good with describing fabrics. We know this by now. So this one on me is definitely like a cropped vibe, whereas when you see it on, it looks like maybe a little bit cropped on Carrie. On Christine, it does not look cropped because she is our short queen. But for me, it's definitely like my natural waist is like here, so it's hitting like just below, and then my hip is here, so like definitely cropped, and not giving oversized on me, but again, still like a vibe, and that's why we like trying on different things. I'm just curious if the buttons are going to look, because I wouldn't button this personally, I would leave it open, but I do like to test just to see if the buttons, you know, like sometimes when you're sizing down in something and it's like it almost fits, but when you put the buttons on it kind of looks like they're holding on for dear life. I just want to like check that because it's not always like the most flattering look if you have a button that's like struggling. Oh, this buttonhole's kind of, it's like round instead of a slit. Weird. Okay. There we go. Okay, so honestly, no, like the buttons don't look like they're screaming for help, which is always a strong choice. And it just like even more emphasizes my waistline here. So it's actually like if I paired this with something that was like a sheath dress or something that didn't have as much shape, it's actually going to help like define my waist a little bit. So I'm very glad that I tried this on because I thought it was so stinking cute. Adorable. Okay, so again, this is the Outer Space cardigan in black. This one's going to be retailing for $72. Small, medium, and medium large for this one. So Carrie and Christine both wear the small, medium, and then Melissa and myself both wear the medium large. It does fit a little bit more true to style on Melissa. It's maybe a little bit cropped just because she's also very tall. On me, it is obviously like very cropped. So just to be aware. And again, that one's going to be at $72. Okay, let me try on the Shine Bright sweater. That one is also a 2-sizer, like a small, medium, medium large situation. But it is not a cardigan, it is like a full-on pullover sweater. So let me just unbutton over here so you don't have to watch me struggle with my nails. I need to file them down a bit. I'm getting to the point where like, because what I do is like I get gel nails, but I just get like plain clear gel. I don't get any color done. And then I paint them myself just because I have, like over the pandemic, I got really into nail polish and I started painting my nails all the time and I really liked it. But I also missed having like the toughness because I found that like for the length that I like my nails with my natural nail, I use them too much like little like flathead screwdrivers and pry bars and stuff. I definitely abuse them a little bit. So having the thickness of the gel helped me not break my nails all the time. And so, yeah, I went back to my nail girl and she's like, well, what if I just make them like plain clear and then I'll just charge you less because I'm not doing any nail art. And then you can, why did I take my pants off? I still need those to wear the sweater. Sorry, clearly I can't talk and change. But she said, well, why don't I just do them clear? I'll charge you less because I'm not doing nail art. And then you can just paint them yourself. So that's what I do. And so I only go get my nails done every like 3 to 4 weeks because of that, because I just like file them myself and like paint them different colors and stuff. And because I'm painting over them, you can't see the grow out, so I don't need to go as often. But I'm definitely at that stage now where it's like I got my nails done, but I haven't gotten to the point of filing them down between appointments yet, but like I need to, because like, if I drop a coin, it's gone at this point. I can't pick it up. It's just goodbye. Okay, so here is the sweater. This is the Shine Bright sweater in ivory. This one's gonna be retailing for $69. And again, 2 sizes for this one, small, medium, and then medium large. So with this one as well, Christina, Carrie both take the small, medium, and then myself and Melissa do the medium large. Like the Outer Space sweater, definitely like very clearly cropped on myself. Like you can definitely tell that it's not fitting the same way as it fits on Christina or Carrie, where it fits more like a traditional sweater. Part of that being because I am sizing down like 2 to 3 sizes, and then I think part of that just because I am so tall, but still definitely wearable, especially if you pair it like with a high. I would probably go with something a little bit thinner and high-waisted personally, just because I do find that like the sweater tends to make my shoulders look broader, and then with a wide leg pant, I think it's a little bit too wide, if that makes sense. But definitely like with like a pair of high-waisted like straight leg pants maybe, I think this would be super, super cute. I do still have quite a bit of room in the arms. They're not tight, and because it's a drop shoulder, I don't have to worry about like the shoulder seam. So definitely like enough room all around. The sleeves are maybe just a tiny bit short on me. We can see it's not quite there, but my habit is to do this anyways, and the cuffs definitely have enough stretch to come up my arms and then they stay in place. So this is definitely workable for me. This one only has these stars in the front, which is worth noting. So here's the back where it is just that ivory color, and then again the super cute fuzzy pink stars. It's almost like they're like the fuzz is like pulled through the sweater, if that makes sense. Bright green, I am obsessed with little star sweaters. This whole launch with like this 2 star sweaters and then like the space sweater, it's very Miss Frizzle in like the best way possible. But yeah, they almost like, they're kind of like fluffy, which is super cute. So again, this is the Shine Bright sweater in ivory. $69 for this one, sizes small, medium, medium large. Christina and Carrie both take the small, medium, and then Melissa and myself do the medium large for these ones. So like I said, for the Wednesday daily drop, there's nothing specifically plus size, but I did try on a couple of the sweaters, and the medium larges do work for me. They do fit more cropped and more kind of like that like baby doll, or not baby doll, but like baby tees from like the 2000s, like where it is that kind of like cropped, tighter fit, but still definitely a fit that works. Like it doesn't look like I'm trying to squeeze into a sweater that doesn't fit, if that makes sense. Like it's just a different vibe. Yeah, so again, those are both going to be on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And then for decks, we have a decks launch on Wednesday evening at 8, and we have 2 pieces that'll be available in plus. We have a dress and a cardigan, so I will put both of those pieces on. Alrighty, now I can take off the pants because I'm trying on a dress. It actually works out pretty nicely for like timing, if that makes sense, for my like daily pieces, because I only have 2 pairs of jeans this week. And so it worked nicely that I put the jeans on for the Tuesday and could wear them for Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Dex is a dress, so I don't need them. And then I have a pair of jeans on Thursday that I can wear for the Thursday, Friday launches. So that's super convenient. So for this Dex dress, I have to apologize because when I was doing my photos last week, I'm not sure how, but it got missed. So I didn't actually end up, and I didn't realize it till like just now really, that I didn't end up getting a website photo in this dress. So I apologize for that. But in that video I mentioned earlier that we posted on Reels, there is a video of me wearing it while I'm styling the belt bags. So if you want to see, like after my live, if you want another reference for how I look in this dress, that is another place that you can find me wearing it. So, okay. Okay, so I have both the dress and the cardigan on. We'll start with the cardigan and then I'll take it off and we can talk about the dress underneath, if that works. I mean, not that you can stop me. I'm over here just doing my thing anyways. Okay, so this cardigan is the Dex Matilda cardigan in cream beige. This one's gonna be retailing for $90 and it comes in the full Dex size range, so extra small all the way up to a 2X. And just a reminder that the straight size range ends at extra large, and then for plus size now we are at X, 1X, and 2X. Unfortunately, Dex did stop manufacturing the 3X, which is very frustrating, but so far the 2Xs have been working for me for the most part, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I am wearing the 2X in this cardigan. It reminds me a lot, there was a similar cardigan that was like a ruby red color, launched last like fall winter time, that was really gorgeous, except that I think it had a tie waist. This one does not have a tie waist, but it definitely reminds me of that. And it also reminds me of a little bit of a lighter version of the Stockports, a little more cardigan and less coat, but still that same kind of like cut and shape, if that makes sense. So the material for this one is a blend of viscose, polyester, and nylon. It has a really nice weight to it. Like, it definitely doesn't just feel like a cheaper polyester net, but of course, knowing Dex, we know that they use really high quality materials and things like that. The sleeves are a nice length for me. These ones do not have like a cuff, so for me, like pulling the, well, I guess under here they would stay up, so they might not stay up as much, but because I have enough length and wiggle room, I would probably be okay with that. We do have these really nice square pockets, and then if I rotate, we can see we've got these really nice slits up the side. This one is definitely giving like a little bit, like you could definitely style this down with a pair of skinny jeans and some runners, but this one feels more elevated. This feels more coaty, if that makes sense. So for me personally, I would probably style this with like a boot cut jean and some nice boots and like a blouse. Definitely very like corporate workwear appropriate as a really nice like cooler weather layering piece, if that makes sense. For sure. Thank you, Claire. Yes, I agree that like this one for sizing with the 2X, even if this came in the 3X, I would probably still opt for the 2X. I do think that this is pretty generously sized, and I think the 3X would have been a little bit too much on me anyways. So I can't speak to the straight sizes, but at least in the plus sizes, that is how I feel. So Christine took the extra small, Carrie is in the medium, Melissa opted for the 1X large in this guy, and then I am wearing the 2X. So again, this is the Dex Matilda cardigan in cream beige. This one is retailing for $90. Okay, let me get to the paisley because I know that Abby is super excited for anything paisley, which I love for her. Okay, I'm gonna go hang the cardigan up, and like it's a really nice weighted cardigan. Like, it feels heavy and luxurious, but it's not heavy in the way that like I'm gonna sweat to death. It's warm, but it's not like suffocating, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost like a wearable weighted blanket. I mean, it's not that heavy, but it does have a little bit of that like heft to it that is very like comforting, if that makes sense. Okay, so here is the dress. I feel really bad that I didn't end up getting website photos in this one because it is so cute. So this is the Heart of Glass mini dress in dark paisley. This one is going to be retailing for $80, and this one also comes in the full Dex size range, so extra small all the way up to 2X, including the extra large X, 1X varieties that we have in there. So Christine took her usual extra small that she wears in Dex, Carrie took the medium, Melissa wept for the 1X, and then of course I am in the 2X. This one is kind of on the fence. If there was a 3X, I would consider sizing. It fits everywhere okay, but just it is a little bit short on me. I mean, it is a mini dress, so like it's meant to be short, but if there was a 3X, I would consider trying it just for length. But in terms of everything else, like the waist isn't snug, the shoulders are good, so like fit wise, other than maybe being a tiny bit on the short side, the 2X definitely fits me very well. And if I were to size up, it would only be for length, because like I've got enough room in the bust, the waist fits really well, there's enough room in the shoulders and everything. So yeah. But again, this one is fitting everyone else in their like typical size. This one is 100% polyester. It is this really cute, like, not sheer fabric, but, well, I guess it is a little bit sheer, and then it is lined because, as you can see, it's definitely not see-through here, but then when we look at the sleeves, there is no lining on the sleeves, and we can see that the fabric is a little bit sheer and see-through, but again, the actual body of the dress is lined, and then I guess if I pull up the skirt, we can see that there is like a lined like black slip underneath, to keep it from being see-through, and then the paisley layer over top is sheer, and then we get that sheerness again in the sleeves, which is really, really pretty. It has this kind of like stand collar detail here, and then there is this is just, there's a couple little buttons down the front just for show, and then there is this one button here, and this one is a real button, so this is the only functioning button, and then there is a couple of like little non-function ones. Yes, I can undo, so there's not a little button up here, but like you can definitely undo this one, and if you, I mean, I am not, but if you are larger chested, this would definitely give you a little bit more wiggle room. Or if you have like a really cute necklace that you'd want to show off, you can undo that top button, and it does give a little bit more freedom, some more wiggle room. If you are bigger in the chest, that would definitely give you a little bit more flexibility there too. I am not bigger in the chest, as we know, so I would probably keep it closed. But yeah, so just the one button is functional, but it does give you that extra like 1.5 inches. Yeah, for sure. It's funny, Abby, because like I didn't notice your comment until I was like already talking about the buttons, and I looked up and I'm like, okay, okay, Abby wants me to see if it actually like unbuttons, so I might as well do it because I was just getting there. So that's perfect. Yeah, I'll do step back again. We can kind of see the like little bit of a collar. It almost, there's a little bit of like an elastic that makes it like kind of frilly around the neck. Yeah, there we go. If I get closer, we can see that it's kind of like roughly around the neck. And then in the back, we can probably see it a little bit too. And we can see that the smocked waist goes all the way around the back. I love a good smocked waist because they just move and like breathe with you, like as, you know, like throughout the day. You know, as you eat food, you're gonna bloat a little bit, and then as you get moving, you'll kind of like, you know, we're just like sponges. We just like expand and contract all the time. So I love smocked waists because they just kind of like move with you throughout the day, if that makes sense. So once again, this is the Dex Heart of Glass mini dress in dark paisley. $80 for this one. It's extra small through 2X, and we did tend to wear our typical sizes. So again, Christine took the extra small, Carrie took the medium, Melissa is in the 1X, and then I am in the 2X. And again, the only reason I would potentially size up to a 3X if still available would be for length. Everything else fits absolutely great on this dress for me. Okay, moving on to the Thursday daily drop. I believe the only thing for me on Thursday is just a pair of Judy's. So I will pop those on, and then I have, I think on Friday I've got a sweater, so I'll put the jeans and the Friday daily drop sweater on and then be right back. All right. If you have any, I mean, I know wedding season is kind of like winding down a little bit, but there are still a lot of fall weddings coming, especially if you're going to like a country wedding in the fall. I feel like this paisley dress would be like the most incredible thing to do. I didn't have a pair of cowboy boots here to style it with that fit me, just because the only ones we've got on hand are in Christine and Carrie sizes, so like 6 and 8, whereas I wear like a 10 to 11, probably an 11 and a cowboy boot. So not exactly something that would work for me. But otherwise I would have absolutely styled those with cowboy boots, because I think that, that's the nice thing I like about paisley, is that it's a pretty like flexible pattern in terms of styling, because you can style it more boho, or you can style it more country. And then if you style it with more like classic neutral, like staple type pieces, that also works really well too, because that kind of tones it down. and then it's just like a fun whimsical print, but not any particular style, but definitely like flexible in terms of like making it country or making it boho, which I love. Okay. Oh, okay, so I'm putting on a t-shirt because it is Friday. It's just not Friday Daily Drop, but we'll get there in a second. Let me just get all settled in here. Okay. Okay, let's start with the jeans. Actually, I'm gonna tie the shirt up real quick just so we can get the jeans done first. The millennial that I am, of course, I feel like I am at home right now because I am in a skinny jean, my beloved. We've just got like the trend and the like homey classic fave of us millennials. Okay, this does not, I'm just gonna like, just pretend that I did a better job of styling that because we just need it out of the way for right now so that I can talk about the jeans. So these are, so again, this is the only piece that is for plus size on Thursday. So these are the Judy Blue Hide Rise Mid-Wash Tummy Control Skinnies, aka the Cliffs. These ones are going to be retailing for $96, and they are available in sizes 0 to 24W. I did take my 18W in these. I definitely would not wear the 20. Even pre-losing a bit of weight, if I was ever going to size down in a Judy Blue, it was typically a skinny jean, and that 100% rings true for these guys. The 18 fits me absolutely perfectly. I still have a lot of stretch in the waist, but it comes right back, so it's not going to get too lost or like too stretched out as I wear them. I don't have a ton of extra fabric in the hips or anything. Makes the booty look good. Yeah, so 18W, and that's my absolute like perfect fit. Would not size up or down. They fit me fantastically. For these ones, for sizing, Christine took the 3, Carrie took the 9, Melissa took her 14, and I took my 18. So pretty typical sizing on these guys. These are like, I really want to buy these, but I also have basically the same iteration of this jean in like 4 different colors because these are 100% my staple comfort jeans. It's a darker wash. There's a lot of like the fading and like the whiskering up in here. We have a little bit of distressing on the little coin pocket, as I like to call it. We have a little bit more distressing on the corner pocket here on the back. No distressing on the knees or anything like that, but then we do have quite a bit of distressing at the hem. These ones are a little bit shorter in length. These are probably like a 28. So on me, they are an ankle jean, but as mentioned earlier, being a tall plus size woman, jeans have been a nightmare my whole life, which is why I've always opted for skinny jeans because they just look like ankle jeans on me, and that's just my style. And I either wear them with like a low cut shoe, like a loafer or a sneaker, or I wear them with a boot where you couldn't be able to tell anyways. So I definitely do not mind. I don't think that they're like that awkward length where they're too long to be capri but too short to be an ankle jean. I think they're kind of like a really good in between. Again, if I turn around to the back, we can see we've got more like variation around the pockets with how the wash is, and then a little bit of distressing on the back pockets, but no like ripping, fraying, anything other than where they are at the hem. On the back, it's more just like an unfinished hem, so they will wear a little bit more as you go, whereas in the front, there's already more of that like stripping and ripping started, so they're going to be a little bit more distressed, and then they will continue to distress as you wear them. Obviously, I'm a fan. These are exactly the kind of jeans that I love and live in. They may not be like the most like current trend, although it's they're kind of like a micro trend because I think like younger generations like Gen Z and Gen Alpha were having such a fun time like making fun of millennials for skinny jeans, and now they've kind of like come in as a micro trend again, which I think is funny. But anyways, super comfortable, exactly my kind of pant. So again, these are the Judy Blue High Rise Mid-Wash Tummy Control Skinnies, aka the Cliffs. $96 for these ones, 0 to 24W for sizes. We all took our typical sizes, and for me, that was my smaller of my 2 sizes, which is the 18W for these ones. Okay, and like I said, the jeans were the only thing I had for the Friday daily drop. That's dropping at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time on Friday, but this t-shirt is actually part of our ampersand launch. So let me just, sorry, these were Thursday. And then if I go 30 to 4. Yes, so we have some like very like coffee themed pieces, very like brown and beige and neutral pieces, launching on Friday for the daily drop. Sorry, the jeans are Thursday at 1 p.m. Mountain Daily Time. But the Friday drop does not have anything that is for plus, so we are skipping all the way to ampersand. And this t-shirt, believe it or not, is actually an ampersand piece, and I am 100% obsessed with it. So this is the ampersand boyfriend tee in Blackbird. This one's going to be retailing for $50, and this one comes in the usual range for ampersand pieces, so extra small up to 3X. This is the 3X that I'm wearing right now because it is like a boyfriend fit. It's supposed to be like very oversized. I could definitely size down to the 2X if I didn't want it to be quite so oversized, but that is like the vibe and the intention, so I did opt to stick with the 3X for this one. For this one, Christine took the extra small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa took the extra large, and then I took the 3X. So yeah, the material on this one, oops, where's our material? So this one is a cotton spandex blend. So it's 95% cotton, which is amazing, and it definitely feels like that too, which is why I wanted to look, because I'm like, there's no way this is like a poly spandex. Like this has that like heavier weight that you expect from a cotton tee, and it is fantastic. I love, I'll get up close so we can see the color, because it's that, like, it's black, but it's like that really well loved like warm black, where it's not like, not pilled, but you know when it has that just like layer on it, like it's been kind of like pre-worn in, and it kind of gives it that like lighter appearance. It's got that going for it all over, so it's again not quite like tie-dyed or heathered, but it just has that like lived in look that's really cute, which I think again goes to like the whole boyfriend thing, because it does very much give the vibe that like you just took the big t-shirt out of your boyfriend's closet. I can never do that because my boyfriends were always like my height or shorter. Actually, my first boyfriend in college was actually like 3 inches. He was like 5'10", so he's 3 inches shorter than me. He had a complex about it. Like it definitely like, and like my husband now is like half an inch taller than me, but he's also a pretty skinny guy. So like sometimes I can steal his stuff, but really like my stuff is the oversized. Like when I steal his stuff, it's not like the fun, big, cute. It like fits like my t-shirt state, and I'm like, okay, like, so for me, I like buy that you can like buy, like, it's like it's your boyfriend's big t-shirt, except that my husband is definitely not big enough to have a t-shirt that would fit me like this, so I just have to pretend by buying it pre-boyfriended, if that makes sense. I'll do a little spinneroo. It has this really gorgeous like exposed seam in the back, and it has this like square cross sewing here where the tag is on the back, which I love. Love, love. There was another, they kind of remind me of, is it the Bad Habit sweaters, I think, that have that kind of like exposed stitching, like worn in vibe. This is like the t-shirt version of the Bad Habit sweaters that I love. And then if I get up close, we can see that it's not like a stitched, finished edge on the t-shirt sleeves. It's actually a raw edge, so it'll kind of do that like roll thing a little bit. And then the bottom does have a stitched bottom, but it's like it's serged up here, but then it's actually split on the bottom, so it kind of still does, it's like the two pieces here that would normally be like sewn together are split, so they're kind of doing this cute like roll effect. So you get the roll, but because there is still a serging like maybe a centimeter from the bottom, it's not going to keep rolling up, and you're not going to like lose the length of your shirt, or it's not going to like get damaged or anything like that. Right, Abby? Like, I love that they're still doing the classic that we love. Like, we're still getting full zips, we're still getting double hoods, we're still getting like the OGs, but then they've been coming out with really cool pieces like this, and they've come out with some really cool like dresses lately, and like the stuff that, oh, by the way, I have it here, the like the classic sweatsuits that launched last week, which, just a shout out, we still have many sizes available, and I'm obsessed with these. They're definitely giving like, it reminded me of back in the 2000s. I used to read 17 magazine all the time, because that's when I was a teenager. It was in the 2000s. And I remember that Russell Athletics, like that was the cool thing everyone was wearing, especially if you were on a sports team. That was the thing, is that, because I played volleyball in junior high and a little bit in high school, is that we always wore like the tight like spandex volleyball shorts, and then we had Russell Athletics sweatpants, and you'd wear them over your shorts in between games at a tournament, but then you'd have to take the waistband and you'd roll the waistband a couple times to make them like lower rise, and that was like the cool thing. And now we're seeing that very much like like joggers was leaning into it, and now we're back into full on like sweatsuits, and like the cut of these and the sweatpants, especially the ampersand sweatpants from last week, like you could have pulled off the ampersand label and been like, oh yeah, these are like Russell Athletics, they're coming back in style. Like this is the exact kind of sweatpants that I used to wear in high school. Like, again, I wouldn't roll the waistband down on these anymore, but when I was, you know, a high school athlete, my body was a little bit different than it is now, and that's what we did, is we wore them over our little skimpy little spandex shorts that we played volleyball in, and we would roll the waist down twice so that you would like not see the elastic, that you'd get the fuzz. Like that was the style. So but yeah, like absolutely, Abby, that's my long tangent of saying that like ampersand has really stepped up their game, that they're still giving us the classics that we know and love and the reason why ampersand is as successful as it is, but then they're also like giving us new stuff like this, and more often than not they've been absolutely hitting it out of the park. Like this t-shirt is super cute. Which again, this is the ampersand boyfriend tee in the color Blackbird. This one's gonna be retailing for $50, which is great for being 95% cotton. Amazing. And extra small to 3X for the sizing on this one. We all took our usual size. Like I mentioned, I could probably size down to a 2X, but I really like how oversized and like the chill kind of vibes that it gives. So I would still purchase my usual 3X because I would very much want to wear it with the intended like super slouchy vibe and fit that it comes with. You still row your clothing. I'm not sure if I know what you mean by that, Reen. Row your clothing. Either way, yes, super cute. I have more ampersand. I was like, what am I doing now? My brain just like totally decided to fly away for a minute, but we're back. Okay, yeah, so we have 3 more ampersands. We have the t-shirt, and then we have a full zip and a side slit. So I'll pop one of the side slits and bring the other one, and then I will end off with the full zip. Oh, you still roll the waistbands. Oh, I love that actually, Reed. I do not. I mean, to be fair, most of my like joggers and stuff that I have like that, you know what, that's not entirely true, because speaking of the Russell Athletics, I still have a pair of Russell Athletic shorts that I bought in my first year of university from the bookstore at Augustana. That's where I went to university, was at the U of A Augustana campus in Camrose. And I remember I bought a pair of Russell Athletic shorts in my first year because they were on sale. And I think I still have them. And I still, out of habit, like I didn't do it as much with the sweatpants, but with the shorts from Russell Athletics, I would roll the waistband, and I probably still would, to be fully honest. Okay, so here we have the full zip sweatshirt in All I Need. This one's going to be retailing for $74, as is tradition for all full zips and half zips. This one is available in extra small to 3X, and everyone took their usual size. So of course, that being Christine in the extra small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa in the extra large, and myself in the 3X for this one. I really like this one because it is just like a little bit more like clean and classic. It's very everyday wearable because it is this really nice, just like deep charcoal kind of like flocked color. And then we have just a little bit of contrast with these kind of like sepia toned florals on the thumb holes. And then we have the kind of sepia toned florals happening in the hood. So this one is definitely on the like neutral end for a full zip, and definitely like very wearable, very easy to pair with pretty much anything because the colors in it, it doesn't mean warm tone to cool tone, like it is just like true neutral. And actually, I believe this sepia is the same fabric that we're going to see on one of the half zips, so maybe I'll put that one on when we do that. Yeah, so again, just we've seen a lot of full zips. This one is just like really awesome, and like this exact outfit with like the skinny jeans and a full zip hoodie, like if you ever see me like out and about on like a weekday after work, like at the grocery store or something, this is like an 80% match for like what I'm probably wearing. On the weekends is when I dress in more of my like alternative styles usually, but like if I'm just like doing errands after I get home from work, like 90% chance this is exactly what I'm gonna be looking like which is hilarious. But anyways, again, this is the ampersand full zip sweatshirt in All I Need, $74, extra small to 3X, and we all took our typical size. And then, yes, so one of the full zips is the same kind of sepia pattern, so I'll put that one on so we can see what the pattern looks like on a grand scale, and then I'll just hold up the other side slit, because they do fit the same. So good thing I didn't wear skinny jeans here today, because like now that I've had these on for a while, like they just feel like a pair of jeans that I've owned forever and ever. And I would probably just like forget that they're not mine and like walk out of here wearing them, because they just feel so much like what I would wear myself. But I actually wore one of my Becky rompers today, so it would be very obvious that that is not what I showed up here in. Okay, so here we have the two side slit hoodies. So the one that I am wearing, this pattern is called Hopelessly Devoted, and then the other one here is called Make Your Move. So these ones are both going to be retailing for $70, and again, they're in the full size range of extra small to 3X. Just double checking, but I think we all took our usual sizes. So Christine's in the extra small. Carrie sizes down to the small for the side slit, so I'm glad I double checked. And then Melissa is in her usual extra large, and I am taking my usual 3X for these ones. So with these ones, I like the length and the flow. I can wear a 2X, but I do find that it starts to cling a little bit kind of in the midsection area. And I like the length that I get, because it's not often for me to get a hoodie this long that I can actually wear with leggings where it covers the bum. So I definitely still wear my 3X so I can get the length and just a little bit more of that flow. This pattern, I think we've seen it in a couple pieces. We've seen it in a university pullover, and I think we've seen it in a double hood. We might have even seen it in a full zip as well. So it is nice that we are getting it in a side slit hoodie as well. This one is a little, the fabrics are fairly similar, but this one, just because of the way that the screen printing works on the hoodie, it is that type where it kind of has that like you can feel the texture of where the screen printing is. So I do find that the fabric is just a tiny bit stiffer. It's still like super stretchy, but I do find that the screen printing does make this fabric kind of like hold structure a little bit more, if that makes sense. Whereas this one, not being screen printed, it's like the fabric is like that's just like in the fabric, if that makes sense, without having that like extra like texture on top. So this one I find just flows a little bit more. It's a little bit less structured in the fabric, but they're both the same like super stretchy ampersand fabric that we know and love. So of course we have the hood, no like contrasts or anything like that. These ones don't have thumb holes. They do have more of like a structured cuff. And then of course we get the side slits, and then this one is like a true kangaroo pocket instead of just the two like individual pockets like we get on the double hoods. This one is a true kangaroo pocket. So again, these are the two side slit hoodies. The one I'm currently wearing is Hopelessly Devoted, and this one is Make Your Move. They'll both be retailing for $70, sizes extra small to 3X, and we all wear a typical size, but Carrie actually does, size down to the small in this one. Okay, sweet. That is everything that I have slated for this week. I do see a really cute little piece hanging up here. This is from Dex. This is not this week, so I think this one is a cute little like sneaky peeky. This looks like, honestly, the Friday launch where it's like just a bunch of like really like nice rich browns and neutrals. If you're eyeing up this piece from Dex looks like it would go super well with that. So just as a cute little sneaky peeky, I saw this hanging there and I'm like, nobody told me I couldn't, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show this one off. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is gonna be next week for Dex. Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier too, for the ampersand sweatsuits, we still have sizes available for most of the pieces, I think. I'm not sure if we're down to like limited quantities, but I did want to throw that out because people were like super duper excited about them. So I want to make sure that anyone who was looking to get those like has a chance while we still have them, because they're so stinking cute and I'm obsessed with the colors that they came in. So All right, an hour. I love how I'm like, this will be a shorter live today, and then I still take an hour, but yeah, that's everything for me. No weekend launches or anything that I know of. So thank you for joining me. My name is Michelle. Once again, I am the 3X model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I typically wear a 3X top and bottom. I am an 18 to 20W in Judy Blues, 20 to 22 numerically in other brands, and I am 6'1". And I go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time to try on all of the plus size pieces that launch throughout the week. So if you want to look at this silly face, try on cute, adorable plus size fashions and make, sometimes I try jokes, sometimes I'm funny, sometimes I'm not, but I try. But anyways, if you want to hang out with me, that is where to find me here on Facebook and Instagram at Shop Lavender Laces. So I will see everyone next week. Bye.